Tips about this man, Rondell Reed, the escaped inmate who's been on the run now for almost 4 days.
I love all of y'all. R.I.P. JT.
That was Levi Taylor speaking exclusively to News Channel 5 as he was heading back to his home at the Indian River County Jail Monday night. Michael, the new details released today have surprised a lot of people in this community. Sheriff's officials say that Rondell Reed has taken a lot of steps here in Indian River County after escaping from the jail, and they have the physical evidence to prove it. Nestled right along US 1 in Sebastian sits an abandoned home. Some see it as an eyesore, but authorities say escaped inmate Rondell Reed saw it as a good place to hide out.
We kind of thought he'd be gone by now.
He wasn't gone. In fact, he was making himself right at home.
Startled.
But his journey to get here began before the sun came out on Monday morning. Rondell Reed escaped from the Indian River County Jail. Investigators say he walked 13 miles down these railroad tracks to get to Sebastian.
That essentially led us on the path north.
Reed left a trail of evidence, and early Wednesday morning, likely tired from walking, he tried to secure a new mode of transportation by attempting to break into 3 cars at Sebastian Auto, where ironically his mugshot is posted on the front door.
In doing so, injured himself, left blood evidence behind at the scene.
That blood would later be processed by detectives. The 52-year-old would then make another 1-mile trek to Clark's Water Company, leaving behind a little more evidence. And that brings us back to that abandoned house, where investigators say Reed was waiting there for opportunity to knock.
Approximately 12 hours waiting on the opportunity in the window for him to procure that 2004 Dodge pickup.
He got lucky. A Dodge Ram pickup truck parked at Clark's Water Company had the keys inside and a full tank of gas. The escaped inmate hit the road, and police believe he's headed north. His partner in crime in the jailbreak, Levi Taylor, was caught Monday night in Stewart. With a nationwide manhunt in full swing, the news everyone is waiting to hear is that the story of Rondell Reed's great escape comes to an end. Remember, Reed was awaiting trial for first-degree murder. He is considered very dangerous. If you have any information on his whereabouts, you're asked to call 911. We're live tonight from Indian River County. I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Rondell Reed was captured more than 1,000 miles from the Vero Beach area. News Channel 5's Kristen Cadell broke the news of his capture on News Channel 5 this morning, and she begins our team coverage with more on how police got their man.
He ran.
He stayed on the run for a week.
He hid.
Rondell Reed is very smart.
And then he was caught.
Good morning. It's a great day in Indian River County. Our fugitive inmate, Rondell Reed, has been captured.
But first, he led authorities in Warren County, Ohio, on a chase along I-75 early this morning. Speeds topping 100 miles per hour. A deputy had tried to pull him over because he was driving erratically.
The officer in Warren, Ohio, got in behind the stolen vehicle and attempted to initiate a traffic stop in which the pursuit occurred, and then the ultimate wreck.
Investigators believe he was driving a stolen vehicle from Georgia, and that's also where they think he ditched the pickup truck that he took from a Sebastian business.
We do know that he was on some sort of crime spree. He has family in Richmond, Indiana, and I think that's where his ultimate destination was.
His ultimate destination now is back home at the Indian River County Jail, the place where this elaborate escape by 2 men all began. In Indian River County, I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV, News Channel 5. Just before 9 o'clock, they think he pulled up here in this company vehicle. Then they think he headed up those stairs and went to clock out, came back down here. His car was parked right here. They say right when he got in, that's when they think he was shot. And I can tell you that it feels like the temperatures have dropped significantly. And my clothes here are a little bit indicative of how windy it is out here. And to talk more about the weather right now, I'm going to turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Steve Weigel in the studio. Steve, take it away. This facility has been here since the 50s. And one tool that they use for adoptions is this RV right here. But there's one problem. That is now hardly running. Election officials have determined that nearly all of the 224 people who live in that precinct would have had to have voted for someone other other than Jerry Moyo. And less than 4 hours ago, Donna Horwitz was brought here to the Palm Beach County Jail, and she was just booked.
My colleague Kristen Cadell is also here on scene with me. And Kristen, I understand you had the chance to talk to the woman whose house was hit by the chopper.
She described it as she thought a natural disaster had actually happened, and then she said she went outside a couple minutes later and she was shocked to see that a helicopter basically nicked her roof. I don't know if we have that video that we're rolling at this point, but it nicked a couple of her shingles, and then it just crashed right onto her front porch. She said when she went outside and she saw the two people who were inside the chopper and that they were okay, she just couldn't believe it. She said the man and the woman were in good spirits. We're told that they were taken to St. Mary's Medical Center with just minor cuts and bruises. Everybody here on scene just really can't believe that they walked away with such little injury. If you can see that video, it's just the woman said it was just like the helicopter just dropped into her front door for dinner, and she's just saying, I can't even believe that it didn't hurt anybody, or if it would have gone a little bit closer to her house, it could have literally crashed right through her house. And I believe we do have sound with that woman, if we can roll that right now.
I don't know, probably propellers hit the roof line and hit my trees, and then it landed at my front door as if it was arriving for dinner.
Like you said, but again, this is considered the old Northwood area here, and I was just speaking to officials on the scene. They said people who live out here, a lot of people don't have power at this point. That's because in part when the chopper crashed, it did nick some power lines, but as a precaution, FPL went on ahead and turned off power to this area. So it could still be quite some time for folks out here before they get power. But again, a good news out here that no one was injured.
Kristen Cadell is live in Vero Beach tonight with a story you'll see only on News Channel 5. Kristen?
Kelly, we're talking about two restaurants here in Vero Beach, and this was a very large covert operation. Here at the restaurant.
No, of course, no. Not at all.
Su Liang works side by side with her husband at Szechuan Palace in Vero Beach and says he would never purchase fish from an unlicensed dealer. You think it's the wrong person?
Yeah, so not so many Asian people.
But Florida Fish and Wildlife officials thought differently and cited Yang Fu Liang with 1 count of purchasing from an unlicensed dealer and 1 count of purchasing freshwater fish.
I don't know what happened.
Investigators say what happened is during a 6-month-long investigation documented by these FWC photos, undercover officers approached the owners of 44 restaurants in Brevard and Indian River counties. They offered to sell them fish and wildlife species that are not legal to sell or purchase. Owners and employees at 11 restaurants took the bait, some more than once. I'm Kristen Cadell. Like Felix Fajardo, owner of Felix's Place in Vero. You work for him, but you don't have his phone number? When we stopped in, employees told us they didn't know how to reach Felix. What if there was an emergency? How would you call him? But investigators reached him, and he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of purchasing from an unlicensed dealer. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials do these types of covert operations to discourage people from illegally selling or purchasing Florida's natural resources because it hurts commercial fishermen, their livelihood, and the resource itself. These are second-degree misdemeanor charges, and the maximum punishment per count is 60 days in jail and a $500 fine. We're live tonight in Vero Beach. I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV News Channel 5.
Kristen Cadell kicks off our team coverage with the exclusive interview tonight. Kristen?
Kelly, Michael Mandel lives just a few minutes here from this home, a home that is now at the center of a major murder investigation. Authorities are still here gathering evidence, and Mandel says he's known Tyler Hadley since the two were 8 years old. They spent a lot of time here at the home, and the very thought that his best friend is accused of killing his parents is something he can't wrap his mind around. To be a Saturday night house party here that Michael Mandel says he didn't have to think twice about saying yes to, especially since it was to be hosted by his best friend Tyler Hadley, and it was advertised by Hadley on the World Wide Web.
I got a Facebook invite and I got a call from his dad's cell phone.
Mandel says the fun was just getting going with 40-plus people at the Grandeur Avenue home in Port St. Lucie.
It was a normal party.
Normal until Mandel says Tyler told him about something gruesome he had done hours earlier.
After he told me, I didn't believe him because he's been my best friend forever. I would never suspect anything like this.
Mandel says his longtime pal confided in him, told him he had taken 3 ecstasy pills, then murdered his parents, Mary Jo and Blake Hadley, and essentially told him to search the home and he'd find the crime scene for himself.
I opened the door. I saw bloody sheets piled everywhere. I saw broken pictures with blood on them, and I looked down and I saw his dad's leg.
After you saw this scene, what did you do?
I was in shock. I was sitting down. I didn't know what to do.
He says Tyler didn't seem sad, didn't really give a motive, but told him another shocking confession, all while the party was still in full swing.
He was going to commit suicide. This is that look on his face. You could see the horror in his face.
Mandel says he had had enough for the night, snapped this photo with Tyler in the garage, and walked back to his house and didn't know what to do next.
I seen it, I heard it from his mouth, and I still don't believe it's real.
Michael Mandel says he didn't go to police because he was so scared. He said they actually came to him the morning after the party, and that's when he told them what he knew. The state attorney's office would not confirm or deny that Mandel is a key witness, only saying they interviewed everyone who was at the party. We did speak to police about the allegations that Tyler Hadley was on ecstasy when he allegedly killed his parents. They tell us at this point they have no comment. We are live in Port St. Lucie. I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV. News Channel 5.
Kristen Cadell has the details of this catch of the day.
That's a trophy of a lifetime right there.
A trophy too big to carry around town.
I've never seen a gator that size.
It's 5 times the weight of the Florida gator hunting teen who reeled it in.
And this one was 12'3", approximately 800 pounds. Holy alligator.
It is certainly making for some Kodak moments for the Stroh family of Hobe Sound.
I had adrenaline pumping through me, and I was just like, oh my God.
The 19-year-old, along with his family, took out a gator hunting boat on Friday in the St. Lucie Canal.
We slowly creeped up on the gator.
And don't let young Tim Stroh's slender build,
just my little bass fishing pole,
or what he calls his puny bass rod, fool you. He cast, caught the gator, and managed to pull it right beside the boat.
He came up and he was popping his jaw and stuff.
I saw how big he was. I was a little intimidated.
They hit the beast with a .44 caliber gun shell on a stick.
They hit it like that on the gator.
Harpooned it and pulled the monster onto the boat.
I was happy.
And yes, these boys do have all their permits, and it is hunting season until November 1st. The alligator is now being stored in the family's freezer. Tim's dad is a taxidermist / gator hunter.
I'm going to mount the head for him so he can put it in his room.
Although impressive, Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say there have been bigger. The longest caught in the Sunshine State was more than 14 feet, and the heaviest over 1,000 pounds.
Go out and try to find one bigger.
He says he's got his eyes on the prize at all times. In St. Lucie County, I'm Kristen Cadell, WPTV News Channel 5.